All right, my friends, welcome. It's Hicks, results coach and national influence and leadership trainer. Very excited to have you here today because we're going to be talking very briefly about something that's very important, and that is your financial future. You know, many people ask me, Ty, why do you even bring up money at all? I mean, money's not everything. And I say, you're 100% correct. Money is not everything. It's not even the main thing or even close to the main thing. You know, I deeply believe that we all have got to find a unique way to contribute to the world. We've got to find meaning in our life. We've got to have rich relationships. We've got to find happiness in so many unique ways. But the reason why I think that we have to talk about money is that you will never feel totally secure or in control of your life. You will never be able to feel like you are the joyous master of your circumstances if you do not have this part of your life handled. And unfortunately, there's so much bad information out there, and there's also just so much lack of understanding. There's just a lack of real knowledge amongst most individuals about what it actually takes to become financially free. Most people do not think that becoming financially free is something that they could achieve in their life, which is a complete falsehood. And the reality is there are just really clear, understandable strategies that need to be implemented in order for you to get on the path to financial freedom. It's not that difficult to understand. You just have to follow the rules of the game, and that's really how it works. But one thing that I really wanted to discuss today is why you cannot put off planning for your financial future. Why you cannot put off figuring out what it's going to take in order to actually become financially free. I want to share with you exactly what the consequences are of delaying this, because that's the trap that most individuals are in right now. Let's take a look at some statistics just to get a bit of a sense of the sort of economic climate of how most people are approaching their finances. So first of all, less than half of American workers are contributing to a retirement plan right now. Less than half of individuals in the United States are actively putting away money for their future. That is terrifying to me, absolutely terrifying. The second fact that's also terrifying is most individuals think that they would only need about $500,000 in order to retire comfortably. That's absolutely not the case. In most cases, you're going to need a significantly larger margin than that, unless you wanted to be living on about $20,000 a year, and that's just not the case. And we actually are seeing instances of people outliving their savings in a lot of cases, and it's a very dire situation. People having to leave retirement and go back to work at a late age, and heaven forbid you have something happen to you in your health at an old age, in which case you're not going to be able to work, and you might be even further burdened with financial responsibilities. So we're seeing a lot of families being burdened with these types of issues because proper economic planning did not happen at an early age, and that's a very challenging situation. But most people have absolutely no idea how much money it would actually take for them to retire comfortably. Third, less than half have actually determined what they would need in order to retire comfortably based on their specific lifestyle that they would want. Okay, so if we don't even have a goal of what we're going for, we're certainly not going to have a plan to actually get to the goal. Okay, so that's very frightening to me. And then finally, only 30% of Americans have actually saved $50,000 or more for their retirement. And that doesn't even necessarily mean that they're investing it in a way that's going to mean the money is working for them to accumulate more wealth over time. So to give you a sense, I'm sure that you probably fall in one of these brackets, okay? You probably do not have a regimented plan for your future, for your financial freedom. Do you know within what age period you are going to achieve financial freedom? Okay, probably not. The students of my Financial Freedom University course, however, understand exactly what that time period is going to be because I show them the math of how to calculate that out. So there is clarity that we can get to. There is a place of clarity that we can reach where you'll be able to determine exactly how you can achieve a level of financial freedom. And there are tools and resources out there in mass for you to be able to access this information. It's not that difficult. But what I have to be able to do in order to serve you is I've got to show you exactly what the consequences are of putting off planning your financial future. So let's take two case studies, and we're going to compare the cases of these two individuals. They're hypothetical people, but the numbers are real, okay? So case study number one is Tom. So Tom he actually gets ahead at a pretty decent age. He starts planning for his future at the age of 25. So he starts putting away $5,500 a year and then stops investing at age 40. Okay, so let's just assume for some reason or another he decides he's going to stop investing and planning for his retirement at age 40, but he invests over that 15-year period, and he invests a total of $82,500, excuse me, over that 15-year period. Okay, so just to sum that up again, 15 years he invests $5,500 a year for a total of $82,500. Okay, so that's Tom. Now let's look at Harry. So Harry actually gets started a little bit later in life, and he decides he wants to make up for lost time by investing more, which is a philosophy a lot of people have with how they're going to approach their retirement. So he starts investing at age 40, and he puts in $5,500 a year until he is 65. So whereas Tom invested for 15 years, Harry is investing for 25 years. So he is actually investing significantly more. He invests a total of $137,500 over 25 years. Okay, so Tom invested for 15 years, Harry invests for 25 years, almost twice as long as Tom did. He invested almost twice as much as Tom did. Now, at the age of 65, who is going to have the most money to retire with? Now, I mean, common sense would say Harry. Harry has invested literally twice as much. He's put in more money over a longer period of time. But the reality is, Tom is the one who ends up with the significant amount larger than Harry at the time of his retirement. In fact, Tom, who invested $82,500 between ages 25 and 40, ends up with $1,066,000 at age 65. Okay, over $1 million at age 65. Harry, however, who invested significantly more, who invested almost $60,000 more than Tom did at the age of 65, ends up with less than half of what Tom ends up with. Okay, now this is estimating, I believe I calculated this on an average of 8% return on investment per year, which is pretty average when you look at the overall marketplace from the American economy. Now, less than half. Okay, he literally ends up with 40% of the amount of money that Tom ended up with, and Tom invested almost 50% of what Harry invested. So that literally means that Harry spent twice as much to get half the product that Tom got. Now, the reason for this is because Tom understood the power of compounding. He understood that even though when you're investing that small amount at age 25, it may not seem like you're making that much, but compounded over time, you end up making your money work for you that much farther, that much faster, and you end up with that much more of a greater return at the end of your cycle and at the start of your retirement. So you need to soak in these numbers, my friend. If you are thinking that you are going to delay your retirement planning by even just a year, you're screwed. Also, if you think you're going to work until the day you die, okay, that might change, by the way. And also, you may decide that wouldn't you want to have financial freedom so you can end up spending your time working on the things you care about, not just working in order to get a paycheck? So you still deserve to create a financial plan that's going to improve the life of your future self and for your family, okay? You deserve to make that happen. But I give this example to you for you to understand that you cannot put this off any longer. Now, in my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you the most important financial decision that you could possibly make. And it's by no exaggeration exactly that, the most important decision financially you could possibly make. And so I very much encourage you to tune into that. Please keep an eye on your inbox. I'm going to be sharing that with you. But hopefully that this was a little bit revelational for you, just to share this little bit of a case study. The long story short, you can't put this off. You need to get a plan. You need to get the resources. You need to get the knowledge. It's also not that hard. It's not that complicated, as you're going to see. So stay tuned, stick with me. I'm going to share with you more strategies that will help illuminate for you how you actually get on the path to financial freedom. Can't wait to talk to you again in the next video. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.